probably where he wanted it to 1 out of every 10 casts, where I was hitting 99% of the time exactly where I'd cast it to.
And at the end of the day, I had more fish.
I had about 24 brown trout to his 2 or 3. So it definitely, I became a believer in it once I realized how accurate you could cast these things.
An instant advocate, huh?
I never did master the flip cast that the guy who invented this can do, but I haven't practiced it much. But I imagine if I practice it enough, I can pick it up just as quick as I did with regular overhand cast. So.
Well, obviously, everybody, we were very impressed with it, and that's why we thought we'd bring this to you as a gear talk. If you'd like more information, first off, when you get online, their website is Emmrod, EMMROD.com. And if you end up ordering one, tell them that Rocky Mountain Television and Gear Talk brought it to you. Like I said, we've been impressed. The only thing we haven't done yet is really go after some of the big ones. Maybe we'll do that later in the season. For Rocky Mountain Television, Gear Talk, Dave Curtis, Andy Lightbody, thanks for joining us.
Emmrod. Best little fishing pole there is.
Well, if you remember last year's show, we introduced a small little company called Emmrod with a kind of a, remember these fancy little things? Well, Dwayne has certainly come a long way this year at ICAST 2005. Of course, I think the video from 2004 didn't hurt you anyway at all, did it? No.
We even have it up on our web, and thank you very much, Andy.
Good to be back with you. Good to be back with you. Well, in addition to everything that you had last year, I understand you've introduced some new products this year.
We sure have. The one that's probably the greatest is this one right here, which is our 2-tip model, and it still breaks down to just 13 inches for packing in or getting back into those back areas. You can take the back handle off. You can also take the 2-tip off, and you can even turn this model upside down, put the open face spin casting rod on it.
Okay.
Take this handle off, and now
break it down, and you're back to the short. You're back to the short version again.
Back to the short version again. But this one is beefed up in the middle section so that it will not come apart when you're bringing in the big guys. In fact, we've even brought in the biggest one so far is a 58-pound sturgeon, 57 inches long.
Gee, many Christmas. And it was on this.
It was on this right here. And the man that caught it said that he was glad that he had a short rod because he had a smaller boat, and he felt the long rod would have pulled him over with that big fish, because the big fish pulled him all over the area.
Really? Yeah. So being able to utilize this.
Yes. When you got a fish on, for the first 25 pounds, this one's doing all the fishing.
It's doing all the fighting for me.
Right.
Okay.
Then if he's over 25 pounds, this overload spring comes into contact and takes over the rest of the load, just like an overload on your pickup.
Okay.
Now feel how they are with a big fish on.
Okay.
I'll be your big fish.
Oh my. Oh.
Isn't that something? Yeah, try
that was fun.
Again.
Do it again. Oh.
And you can see how that works. This one starts coming in.
So this one is kind of my initial break and buffer.
And even sets the hook because it's so short. That's all it can do. There's no lag time like on a big long rod.
What's this one going to sell for? If
that
I wanted
$99.95, no reel included.
No reel.
$99.95.
You put your own pen or whatever you want to, or Shakespeare, or
yes. And it still has the balancing system.
It does.
That you can use.
Feels good.
You bet.
It feels good. Well, every year it seems that there's something new and different, isn't there?
There certainly is.
Right. What are we going to expand to next? What's up your sleeve?
We've got a fly rod coming out.
You finally have a fly rod.
We really do. In fact, we've already got the prototype. I should have had it here just to show today. But we do have a fly rod. It's about the rod itself, instead of 13 inches, is 18 inches.
Oh, well, that's too big. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And it will load up and give you 40 to 45 feet. You can't get 70, but you can get 40 to 45.
Really?
It's amazing.
Yeah, but if you wanted to get back into these beaver ponds and things like that, where you're going to have to backpack or horseback in,
perfect for that.
Yeah, it would be ideal. Yeah. Ideal. Well, obviously, folks, we're going to have to find one of those somewhere down the line so we can at least show you a picture of it, because it's pretty exciting. If you'd like to have people go to your website, how do they get more information on all the Emmrods that we fish with?
Emmrod.com, EMMROD.com, or call our 800 number, 888-924-6227.
We're here today with Tony Edgar of the Cabela's Pro Staff down on the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. Tony's fishing with the Emmrod Dock Shooter The Emmrod is an amazing little rod that's got a coil spring in the center of it, very short, and you can shoot it just like a bean flipper and get back in there in those hard to get places around the pontoon boats and boat lifts and little cubby holes where the big slabs lay.
All these fish are tucked back up under these docks. We're using a little deal called the Emmrod. It's really nice. It's spring loaded. Grab a hold of your jig. You don't have nothing here when you're jerking. You get back under the dock. Grab a hold of it. Shoot that baby back up in there. Gets back up underneath there where them crappie are laying at. A lot of times this time of year when the sun, we've got a cloudy day today, but on a sunny day, they'll tuck up underneath them, the foam or the bottoms of the dock, and that's where they like to lay. So this rod, it gets you slingshot, shoot that baby right up under there. What I did with that Emmrod is I pitched it right back up underneath that edge of that dock. We got a little, like a jet ski lift, and one beside it, there's a little gap up there, and I flipped it up in there, and I just let it settle, and it's gone down real slow. Kind of coming back to me, I just let it fall. There's one. There he is.
All right. There he's got a tug on there.
Yeah, there it is.
Good crappie, good little crappie there. All right, he'll fry.
Oh yeah. That's what that rod's good for. You can flip it right back up in there where them fish are laying at. Good little fish. Emmrod, don't leave home without it. See, you want to make sure to take your jig, get a hold of the back of it. You don't want to be holding up where you can hook yourself. I like to get it right down here about the same level with the rod. Get it flipped back, skip it up there. It'll shoot right up underneath there. A lot of times, everybody that fishes is fishing the sides of the docks and in the wells of the docks, but they're not fishing back up underneath the dock. And that's where a lot of fish aren't fished for, and you get better bites back up under the dock. This baby's ideal for doing that.
These young kids really like this small rod. It's handy for them, easy to use. Tony's got his boy using that thing like a pro. Tony's doing a little vertical jigging here right now. Kind of get the feel of straight vertical. They're hitting light, aren't they, Tony? You got one there on a another Bobby Garland lure?
Yeah, Bobby Garland bait.
What color is that, Tony?
That's that crystal shad. Got some black speck.